Welcome to the Edge. Ignite your performance. Edge Performance Training. Call 404-295-2658 to get started.
In today's economy, your image is more important than ever. Make the most of your first impression. Tri-County Printing Solutions is a full-service print shop right here in Western North Carolina. With on-site equipment and expert staff, we are able to print, cut, mount, and prepare all your custom sign and graphic needs. With personal service, fast turnaround, quantity discounts, no minimums, no setup or layout fees, we will meet your needs. Take your business to the next level with Tri-County Printing Solutions.
I'm one of the owners of Emerson Joseph. We're a high-end men's grooming lounge. And so what that means is we do salon and spa services just for men. Everything from massages to facials to kind of old school straight razor shaves. Emerson Joseph are the two middle names of my sister and I's grandfather. So really cool things about Emerson Joseph is after 4 years of being here in Charlotte, we've really kind of become part of the fabric of Charlotte, and certainly the uptown Charlotte area. You know, we provide really kind of a top-notch service and a lifestyle, and for that reason, we've really got to become friends with a lot of the thought leaders and businessmen of Charlotte and athletes here in Charlotte. So it's really become a cool business in that perspective as well.
As one of the first law practices of its kind, deeply dedicated to protecting the rights of people injured by the negligence of others, the Olive Law Firm has proudly served the Carolinas for over 50 years with excellence and integrity, providing individual, personalized attention to the specifics of each case. Our areas of practice include serious personal injury, workers' compensation, wrongful death, automobile accidents, unpaid overtime wages, brain and spinal injuries, slip and fall, truck accidents, product liability, dog bites, immigration, disability, simple divorce, and police misconduct. And there is never a charge for your initial consultation. If you or someone you love has been injured at work or in an accident, trust the Olive Law Firm, proudly serving the Carolinas since 1957.
And obviously the co-owner of our gym is an MMA fighter, and you know, he brought me into MMA, telling me I would love it, and I did. I fell in love with it, and the fan base and the camaraderie that comes with it. It's just like the Army. I just kind of found a home in it.
Well, you have got some of the best people to train with. One of them being Keith the Rockstar Richardson, who's the main event tonight. Just saying. But what has he done for you to really just pump you up for fights and really give you that drive and that determination?
You know, it's really the belief that he has in me, you know, and every single day, you know, working with me. He pushes me, trust me, like no other in the gym. But, you know, it's hard, you know, that I see in him, and it kind of pushes it off on me. I think it pushes it off on a lot of our gym members. It's almost like an inspiration to us all, you know.
Absolutely. No, he's an amazing guy. You know, inside the cage, phenomenal fighter. Outside of the cage, just a great person all around. Yeah. So my last question for you is this. Other women that are wanting to get into the sport of MMA, what advice do you give them that are just starting out and that really have that love but just are a little scared? What would you tell them?
just do it. Get out there and do it. My main thing I tell a lot of the females in our MMA gym is that believe in yourself. You're stronger than what you think you are.
Absolutely. Women are strong. Hear us roar and hear us kick your ass, right? Well, congratulations tonight, and we can't wait to see you back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the black trunks trimmed in white and silver. Standing 5 foot 10 inches tall, this young man weighed in at 145 pounds. His record, 2 wins against 2 losses. Representing Team Rock out of Fayetteville. From Fayetteville, North Carolina, please welcome to the cage, Josh, the Steedly.
The Steed! I like that. I like that nickname.
His opponent, right out of the right corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in white. Standing 5 foot 7, he weighed in at 145 pounds. He is undefeated in the cage at 1-0. Representing Boondogg MMA and Hugo Carrica from Boone, North Carolina. Please welcome to the cage, Brian Davis. Your referee is Wayne Spinola.
And here we are back cage side. Myself, Joe Pacheco, Corey Van Aken to my right side. About to start this great match between Josh Steedly, 2-2, and Brian Davis, 1-0. Davis in the black shorts with the spider webs on them. And Steedly with the compression shorts on. Both will come out banging. Steedly from Team ROC, a great camp. A bunch of talented fighters out that way. Good grappling, good arm combative skills out there. Steedly with a bum rush to the cage.
Don't know much about this guy at a Team Boondogg coming out of the mountains in Boone. He's in control right now. He's got an underhook on that left side, looking for a takedown, looking for a trip right there. He gets it, comes out on top, hips high.
Takes the back in the saddle,
both
for rear naked.
Both hooks in early.
There's not much you really can know with this kid. He's 1-0 right now, still undefeated. But Josh Steedly doing a great job of keeping those hands away from his neck. Hand fighting, keeping it around his waist.
Both fighters remaining calm. The guy in the bad position is not freaking out. The guy who's got the back is taking his time. He's not rushing, not wearing himself out. He's only got one hook in now. He's looking to get that other one back in. He's riding pretty high.
Really surprised here there's not more striking going on from this positioning right here from Brian Davis.
Ooh.
But once again,
double underhooks up against the cage. Excuse me.
Great defense from Josh Steedly, getting from that bad positioning, getting back to his feet with his back against the cage, looking for that over-under position, trying to pummel his way back in or get his back again from off the cage.
Josh is going to look to take that left underhook he's gotten, to jack it up high and to turn to his left to get off the cage. Brian Davis doing a good job keeping control in that over-under position.
Keeping a great job his head position. Seeing that right at the jawline, or was underneath the jawline.
Oh, yeah.
Right underneath the chin, keeping him from coming down and trying to get his center of gravity low.
He's got Josh's underhook locked down over top of his overhook. These guys going all the way across the ring here. Little dirty boxing inside by Brian.
And good work to the Cage Monkeys here at Fight Lab for making sure the cage is nice and safe. So that was a really, really strong push into the cage.
Looks like Brian got a little out of control there, going for a takedown, loses position, ends up on his back. Let's see what Josh can do from top here, Joe.
Absolutely, Josh Steedly staying well composed, not really giving up any big positionings. And back up to his feet again. Oh, that was almost a suicide toss right there.
Ooh, that may have cost him the round, trying to go for that lat drop. ends up being mounted.
That lat drop was very, very bad positioning. He had double unders. And so usually when you go for a lat drop, you want, double overs, having it very tight against the body. The moment you have that space is when they go and when they are able to bail their hips out and land on top like they just did. Not a really smart decision.
I gotta give that first round to Brian Davis just based off the cage control. He had Josh's back to the cage most of the time, working that over-under position. What do you think?
Absolutely, I agree with you. Couldn't agree with any more. That cage control was very, very good. Even though Steedly was able to get from out of bad positions every time, that doesn't speak anything badly against Brian Davis, who's doing a great job.
Seconds down, fighters up, ready for round number 2.
Some bruising under the eye of Josh, under that left eye. Brian did a little damage that first round. Brian coming out in southpaw stance.
But
Josh orthodox.
Brian, if you notice Brian's mouth is kind of gaped open. Both guys are kind of gaped open.
Getting tired in there, Joe.
Absolutely. Steve looks to be in better shape right there. Oh, wow. Strong and explosive movement by Brian Davis. Kind of ducked underneath. Looks to have a rear naked right here. Oh, nice,
Josh
nice transition.
Nice, ends up on top. I'd like to see Brian slow things down a little. It was definitely a nice takedown right there. It wasn't anything technical. It was just a lot of brute strength. But he's been in dominant positions a lot in this fight. And if he could work to be a little more technical, I think, he ends up on top instead of his back in that little scramble.
Absolutely. We got to remember this guy's 1-0. He hadn't had a lot of cage experience. So he's doing a really, really good job against a very dangerous Josh Steedly.
Definitely an athletic guy. He's showing it with the way he's moving around. Just needs to slow it down a little bit, tighten everything up. Josh remaining calm from top position, throwing shots to the body, working in Brian's open guard here. Not really looking to pass.
No, just looking to soften him up, I believe. Looking to try maybe do a big movement to try and get a dominant position, even more so than where he already is. I'm not sure that Brian Davis's ground game is really that advanced, considering that his open guard game is him basically just having his knees against the other guy's chest, not doing a lot off his back, not trying to create angles, just basically holding him on top of him.
Looking to see Josh make a move here. He's sitting in that open guard a lot. It looks like he's trying to...
One thing you can't deny is that Brian Davis is a phenomenal athlete.
He is, absolutely. You can see that very clearly.
But Josh Steedly doing a great job of continuing to try and pressure and continue to be in better positioning.
Josh has got to be confident over there on top of Brian, close to his corner.
Josh doing a great job of controlling here. Even though he's inside of Davis's guard, I would still have to say that Josh is in a better position right here because Davis is not doing anything off his back at this time besides holding on to that overhook as the referee sees that and stands them both back up.
Interesting. Josh had plenty of chances to try and pass there, and he did a couple times, but he was really kind of just sitting in that open guard of Brian. Brian locking up again. He's going to try and use another brute force takedown right here. There's the 10-second mark.
Unfortunately, Brian Davis does not look very polished as a fighter or a mixed martial artist. He's relying a lot on athleticism, which sometimes is not a bad thing. But as you move up in the rankings, you have to continue to evolve.
You can only get so far being just an athlete walking into the cage.
Absolutely. He looks very, very raw in this fight. But on the hindsight, Josh Steedly, who was more veteran and more experienced than Brian Davis, is not really doing a lot of damage. He's doing just barely what he has to do to try and be in control of this fight. Haven't seen anything big coming out of him. He hasn't went for any big submissions or any hard punches or anything like that. I would like to see him turn it up in this third round.
You give that round to Josh.
Absolutely.
So this next round's up for grabs. Whoever wins this round wins the fight if it goes to a decision.
I would say right now that Brian Davis has to push this last round if he hopes to win.
Third and final round.
If I was in Brian's corner, I'd tell him to do the same thing he did the first round. Take the fight to the cage, put Josh's back on the cage, hold position, and look for a takedown.
Absolutely. It's the only way he's going to be able to win this because he's just brawling right now.
He is. He is. I appreciate the effort.
I'm starting that Brian Davis is right-handed. Notice that even though he stands unorthodox, he has yet to throw anything really any importance with that left hand.
Interesting. Keep an eye out for it now. Doesn't look to be shooting for any takedowns. At this point, you got to think that's his best shot at winning this round right here. What are you doing if you're Josh in this last round? How are you trying to close out this fight and get the W?
He's doing a great job of actually just picking him apart. That big swing is all he was waiting for, and a big takedown. This right here may be a last-ditch effort for Brian Davis to win this fight.
He's riding very high again. I can't tell if he's got a hook in or not, and he does not.
No hook. No hook. Didn't even look for a hook at this point.
And this is another area of the fight where we see the inexperience of Brian Davis and the fact he's trying to be a little more of an athlete than a fighter right now. Josh is not in a great spot right here, but he's remaining calm, and I have a feeling he's going to pop his head out of there sooner or later.
Absolutely.
Back on their feet.
And here we go, back to the feet. We'll see if Steedly actually goes for another big shot or keep him at range just to continue to pick him apart. Once again, Brian Davis looking for that right hand, that jab. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think that Brian Davis does have a wrestling background. If you look at every time that finally threw something with his left hand, absolutely.
Yeah. Do it again, son. He's got to have some type of wrestling background, like you just say. Yeah, there you see that nice little.
He goes for a duck under every time. It's when he tries to swoop underneath that opposite side hand and come out to the side and look for a takedown.
Over under position right here. Brian's going to look to jack up that right underhook, spin off the cage. A little dirty boxing inside. One of these fighters has to make a push, and they got to make it right now because this round's about even. And whoever wins it's going to win the fight. We need to see a push out of one of them, something decisive, or else we're going to see another split decision.
Steedly's doing a great job of controlling this round right now.
Yep.
Even though he was taken down with that big slam, he was still able to control the majority of this round. Doing a good job of trying to stay a little active, chipping away the whole time.
So Steedly ends the round by having Brian Davis pushed up against the cage. Brian got a takedown early in the round, threatened with a choke from the back mount. Who do you give this fight to, Joe? This is really tough to score, and the last round's tough to score.
It really is. If you want to talk about consistency and actually, being the better fighter and being more aggressive and trying to pick your points and cage generalship, and you talk about aggression, space, Josh Steedly absolutely dominated this fight if you look at just raw numbers. Yes, Brian Davis did have a couple great takedowns, went in, but that's really all he did. He sat back, looked for the takedowns, and just hoped that he can out-muscle or just out-brute Steedly in this fight.
I got to say, I'm excited to watch Brian in the future as he practices a little more. He's definitely got potential. The guy's a great athlete, as you've mentioned multiple times during this fight tonight. Just needs to brush up on his technical grappling and technical striking. And, you can see a really good fighter come out of that guy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And right now, it almost speaks words onto their camps. Josh Steedly, once again, comes from Team ROC Fayetteville, which they have a lot of great fighters there. And that comes with those great fighters comes a lot of experience. Unfortunately, I think Boondock MMA does not have that experienced fighter or those experienced fighters to share their wealth of knowledge with the younger guys, such as Brian Davis, to help them become better fighters faster than they would be on their own. Great sign of respect right there from Brian Davis, that bow. The young man has a bright future, just has a lot of learning to do to be a dominant force right now in mixed martial arts.
That's a tough fight for that kid. Inexperienced, going up against a guy who trains with a great team. He did a good job. He just needs to polish up.
Absolutely. Only time inside the gym and time on the mat, time inside the cage will do that.
So we're about to take another commercial break. We'll be back here at Fight Lab 45 in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Grady Cole Center here soon.